Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the waterway. If you believed the narrative was finished, if you believed the anguish the last chapter of this was in Doha, Philippines pivot to the Middle East Golden Girl, you are truly definitely incorrect. Breaking news leaving the United Arab Emirates shockwaves have been hurled through the tennis community, keeping detractors at bay and causing a flurry of excitement. We are discussing a change in the story, thus abrupt, so combative, and so motivating it has departed from the whole city of, in fact, Dubai and the world tennis community in complete amazement. The headline is straightforward, but the ramifications are enormous. Eala Alexander is not yet complete. A few days ago, we saw what many referred to as a catastrophic stumble. Abu Dhabi's momentum appeared to vanish in the heat of the desert. The demise of theirs of Valentova was more than just a loss. It seemed similar to a punctuation mark, an abrupt stop to a rocket ship that had fractured at last into the top 40. The commentators started to murmur. The skeptics started typing. They claimed that the weariness had set in. They stated that the WTA 1000 level pressure too soon, too much. They stated that the swing in the Middle East was essentially over. For the youthful Filipina celebrity. However, currently, the script has been turned on today. Its head. We have confirmation. With graphic proof that has astounded the supporters and organizers of the Dubai duty-free tennis tournaments. Rather than adopting a rather than allowing the Doha festers disappointment, Alex has reached Dubai with a degree of fury and intensity that originates from the ground is spooky. This isn't merely about going to a competition. This is about making a claim. Dubai as a whole, it's not clickbait to be astonished. It's a real response to a player who is 20 years old and following a humiliating loss, the sport eye and declared, "I'm prepared for more." In this thorough in-depth unique, we're not merely falling behind the news reports, but into the thoughts of a future champion. We will describe in detail what transpired in Qatar, the strategic failures, the lost chances, and compare it to with the shocking information emerging from a getting ready for Dubai. We'll examine the Instagram statement and the responses that inspired a country to support non-Paroy Parin on lean, and in particular what that means for her tactical strategy heading become one of the most esteemed calendar events that are intense. We're examining her mathematical ranking, the manner she fought her way to the top number 40 and the tasks she must complete in Dubai will protect it. We're examining the attraction, the possible nightmares concealed inside the qualifiers, and the reason for this a particular competition might be the defining event of her season in 2026. We will discuss the topic of resilience. We are going to discuss Rafa Nadal. Academy mindset. Additionally, we're going to discuss why the world of tennis is abruptly placed on high alert. Because in the event that after being knocked down, the player climbs back up. Often this quickly with this much fire. History will soon be written. So, fasten your seatbelt. Switch off your alerts. This is a conclusive analysis of the redemptive arc of Alex Eala. In the background lies the Doha heartbreak. The mission to Dubai has started. And based on the rippling shock waves during today's tour, Alexandra Eala isn't merely playing to get involved points. She's playing for the attention of others. She is trying to earn redemption by playing. Additionally, she is definitely not done yet. Let's take a closer look. Chapter 1. Anatomy of the Heartache. Breaking down Doha. To fully comprehend the scope of the surprise by what we're witnessing in Dubai today, we need to conduct an autopsy on the previous 48 to 72 hours events. We unable to recognize the resurrection without being aware of the fall. Come on, let's go. Returning to the Khalifa International Tennis and Doha, Qatar's Squash Complex Open is a WTA 1000 competition. This is the large leagues. Eala participated in this competition, surfing a wave's extreme crest. She having recently advanced to the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi, where she attended the W500. She did more than play, she fought. She took down a Sasnovich, Alexandra, while return that demonstrated her perseverance. She pushed an Alexandrova Katarina, recognized elite veteran, and she appeared to be in spite of the loss. Belonged. That performance sparked to her position in the top 40, the 40th in the globe. Let's take a moment to process that. For a participant from Southeast Asia, particularly the Philippines, where facilities for tennis has always trailed behind the West. Being in the top 40 at age 20 is an enormous accomplishment for a generation. Prior to arriving in Doha, expectations were extremely high. The story was composed. Eala has come. Then she encountered Valentova Teresa. On paper, this was a match that could be won. However, tennis isn't performed on paper. Geometry is used to play it, as well as psychology. An emerging star is Valentova. Star in her own right. A player of chess with a big game. Additionally, what we observed in that Doha first round was legendary. The momentum interruptus case. A story is told by the score line 7-6, 6-1. Comprises two quite distinct groupings. The initial it was a war. It went on for more than an hour. After down behind early, Eala battled back. She displayed that distinctive Laban spirit, clinging to a tiebreak. However, the tiebreak's mistress is ruthless. It's a nerve lottery. Additionally, in such crucial moments, the narrow spaces, the uncompelled mistakes made by the forehand wing, she lost because her second serve was a little short. The first set was lost 7-6. A blow to the body. The 6-1 seconds set the outcome of that blow was the scoreline. She did not suddenly forget how to engage in tennis. It was an intense and physical disappointment. After a fierce battle for 1 hour, and leaving with the tank emptied, nothing. It occurs to the finest among them. It occurs to Djokovic. Swiatek experiences it. Additionally, what happened to Eala? However, this is where the shock sets in. Usually following a defeat such as that, a major league first-round exit competition in which you had great expectations. The players back off. They become silent. They take some time off. They share a generic difficult day at work caption and to order a room, the hotel room will vanish. Service and pout. It's a normal human response to disappointment. Didn't that? Almost instantly, the story went from defeat to rebellion. Her declaration to her followers. Taylor Nyan on to Loy Pairin Lean however. A day was lost by us. However, the battle goes on. It wasn't only PR fluff. It was a statement of mission. And it leads us to the current time and Dubai's scene, which includes everyone speaking. Chapter 2. The landing in Dubai. Why the world is surprised. The Dubai, one of the duty-free tennis championships, the WTA Tour's crown jewels. It is a cruel competition. The segment of the major attraction is ridiculously high. The qualifying draw is frequently more difficult than the primary attraction of lesser competitions. You feature Grand Slam champions competing in the qualifiers in this case. When it was announced that Eala was already shifting her focus to Dubai. Hours following the defeat in Doha, the casual observer's response could have been, obviously, it's a follow-up planned competition, yet the surprise originates from the way she arrived and the rigor of her training. Practice court reports show that a player isn't licking her. Injuries, but one that is honing her sword. This is the unfinished version. A feature of our headline. There's a particular energy that envelopes a player who believes they need to prove something. We refer to it as the rebound in tennis. Fact, but it is dangerous. If you get back up, you burn out if you try too hard. If you don't, you spiral if you don't recover enough. Eala appears to have discovered the ideal compromise. Restrained hostility. The planners in Dubai is taken aback because, to be honest, many players in her role would have retracted. Consider it. She has performed a great deal of tennis during the past 3 weeks. Abu Dhabi singles. Abu Dhabi doubles as she and Janice Jan advance to the semifinals. Next, traveling is an emotional roller coaster. To Doha. Then the defeat. The sensible safe the plan is to leave Dubai, take a break, safeguard the standings and get ready for Miami and Indian Wells. The Sun double in the United States. By deciding to play, Eala is going all out for Dubai. She is putting herself at risk. She's stating, I need to win, not take a break. Decision has caused a stir in the other players. See this in the changing room. When a youthful adversary takes a while in a single city, take a quick flight and begins striking the practice courts with fierce vigor, it conveys a message in the next city. I am not leaving. It's shocking the establishment since it disregards the contemporary load management trend. We live in a time when athletes are always urged to take it easy in order to protect their bodies. LA has adopted a traditional strategy, as the doll and Ra get closer, the play till everything falls apart because I adore to combat strategy, which is why Dubai Chapter 3, the stakes, is buzzing. Why more important than ever is Dubai, therefore let's get briefly technical. Why is a certain tournament so important? Not yet completed, more than simply a slogan? The WTA ranking is the key. System as well as a points defense idea. Ella recently reached a high point in her profession. 40. That is a risky situation. In climbing the WTA is challenging, but remaining it's more difficult. You're the hunted rather than the hunter. Each lower A-rated player seeks to surpass you in order to get individual's own resume. Each higher-ranked the player studies and takes you seriously. Dubai is a WTA 1000 event. Your game. There are a ton of points here. Even taking home a few victories in the qualifiers are worth a lot of points. It's enormous to make the main draw. In the main draw, winning a round, that solidifies your position in the top 40 and begins aiming for the top 30, but the opposite side is at risk. Should Ella lose at the beginning of Dubai, another elimination in the first round, or a defeat in the qualifications, it begins a story of a downturn, with 2 early defeats consequently, Doha Dubai can erode assurance. It can rank in the top 40. Ranking appears to be an anomaly, therefore the stakes are existential, and she's performing to demonstrate that she is able to maintain her ascension. Playing to demonstrate that the defeat to Alentova wasn't a trend, it was a blip. Let's discuss the exterior. The Dubai hard courts are infamously quick. Are quicker than Indian Wells. Compared to Miami, they prioritize rewarding aggressive. Ella's lefty is suited for strike tennis. Game because of her self-assurance. Her forehand with the capacity to perform that powerful top spin to level out later on can be a deadly instrument in these courts, yet it needs to be timed, and timing needs assurance. The shocking event we are documenting is based on the conviction that she discovered that confidence nearly again. Overnight. Her practice footage session indicates that she is modifying her timing, entering the courtroom, and observing not practicing, thus she is unable to control play. She is practicing to win, not to lose. Chapter 4. A home and the Kababayan element away from home. We are unable to talk about in the Middle East, Alexandra Eala without talking about the crowd, which is a variable that is unpredictable by no algorithm and that is a significant portion of the shock component for Abu's adversaries in the Middle East. Doha, Dubai, and Dhabi are home to a huge number of Filipinos employed abroad, OFWs. To these admirers, Alex is more than just she is a symbol and a tennis player. She is a representation of home. A Filipino greatness worldwide stage. The ambience in Abu Dhabi was like a Davis Cup match, electrifying. In Doha, in spite of the defeat, the encouragement was overwhelming. Now, in Dubai, we anticipate that the volume will go all out. Dubai is among the most Filipino communities that are concentrated in the world. Ella's arrival on the court for her first round or qualifying match, she won't be going outside to courteous applause. She's leaving. To a roar. This produces a distinctive environment of a pressure cooker. For Eala, it is fuel. She's talked extensively about how much she values this support. Greetings, MGA Kababayan. She wrote is aware that she is playing for them. The opponents. This is surprising. Consider yourself an American or European, perhaps 50th or 60th player in the globe, used to performing in front of early rounds with half-empty stands. All of a sudden, you go outside to play this Filipina, age 20, and the stadium is crowded with flags flying everywhere. Eala cheers every time it wins a point. Match point. All of your mistakes are addressed. Providing booming support for your adversary. It may rattle. It may frightening, and Eala is aware of this. Comprehends that if she can simply retain the score close, if she could simply prolong the match, the audience will participate and the strain on her rival will multiply, which is her covert tool in Dubai. The mindset of not finished yet is with the help of thousands of voices. Stands, not letting her give up. Chapter 5. The evolution of tactics must be altered? Let's now delve deeply into the actual game of tennis. What does Alexandra Eala to take various actions in Dubai as opposed to can't we just talk about hearts, Doha, and spirit? We must discuss serve, backhands, and forehands percentages. Valentova's defeat identified a few issues that her group, which is headed by the coaching staff from the Rafinadal Academy, is going to talk about urgently. The serve comes first in contemporary. The serve is a tone in women's tennis. Setter. Eala's left-handedness gives her an inherent edge. The lefty's cut serve the ad court from a considerable distance. Gaining an advantage is a nightmare for returners who are right-handed. It drags him off the court and makes the entire court accessible. For Valentova's next shot against Eala, the percentage of first serves fell in important times. The second serve was assaulted on these quick courts in Dubai. A poor second serve might spell disaster. Gamers such as Rybakina, Sabalenka, or even the strong qualifiers will consume a speed of 70 miles per hour, breakfast's second course. The startling we must witness improvement, and what her practice report indicates that she is employed, is positioned above the power on the second. She must hit the spots in order to serve. Must jam her using the body serve. The opponents. The forehand comes in second. Violence. Eala's weapon is her forehand. She rules when she's playing well. With it, she shifts her adversaries side to side. Against the second set she went passive. Valentova began to roll the ball in, anticipating an error. At the WTA, that isn't effective. 1000 level. The attitude of not finished yet must mean I'm going to hit through the sphere. She must get the Dubai's fast courts are becoming more popular. Reward this. Should she hesitate, the ball will hurry her. If she intervenes, she makes advantage of the pace of their adversary. Third, the serve return, which is where Eala can really take the field by surprise. She possesses excellent hands. She has an exceptional response time. If she can intervene and launch an assault on the second serves of her rivals, she places pressure on them right away. In Abu Dhabi, she had an incredible comeback game. She must find that beat again. Mental toughness comes in fourth. The 6-1 there was a mental lapse in the second set in Doha. Although it occurs, it cannot occur in the option to restart after losing in Dubai. The top 40 are separated by a tight set. Among the top 10, SWAT, the major three, Rybakina and Sabalenka, are reset experts. In the event that they drop a set, they appear in the Eala is more focused and furious in the next set. Must channel that. She must watch laws are established as data, not as failures. Well, that didn't work. What's the backup plan? Chapter 6, How to Proceed with Qualifying and Beyond. Let's examine the current future. Duty-free tennis in Dubai. The qualification rounds for championships are a gauntlet. We do not currently possess the final verified draw in front of us right now, precise moment, yet we are aware of who lurking. Camilo is one of your players. Donna Vake, Magda, Lynette, Sorio, veterans, independent champions, all vying for the limited number of slots in the primary attraction. Eala will probably be sitting in the qualifications because of a rating in the top 40 depending on the wild card cutoff. However, there are no simple matches. That draws player is inside the top 100 or almost so. To state that she is not completed yet, so she must be prepared to participate in 3, 4, or maybe 5 games just to immerse oneself in the competition. Is a physical examination, but this is the thrilling portion. If she passes the qualifiers, she turns into a threat. Qualifiers are difficult matches. Participated in 2 or 3 games on the surface, but the top seeds are in the living room. A qualifier who determines that their rhythm poses the most risk. Battle for the number 1 seed in the first circle. Consider this situation. Eala fights through 2 rounds of qualification. She gains self-assurance back. She adjusts to the velocity of she enters the main draw at the Dubai courts. She draws a player in the top 20 who hasn't participated in a game within a week. Dubai is where the unrest takes place. Startled turns becomes a reality on the scoreboard, not merely emotionally. Are considering a possible run that may characterize her first half season. Should she advance to the round of 16 or here in the quarterfinals, she confirms her place for the remainder of the year. Ensures easy access to the Grand She slams, placing herself in the discussion for next G's WTA Finals Chapter 7, the overall context, the legacy in the present. As we delve further, zooming out is necessary for this analysis. Why is this so important? Why are we spending this much time on just one admission into the tournament? Because Alexandra Eala is not merely amusing herself, she is creating history in real time. With each victory is a Filipina first. The first to receive the first to break into the top 50 is Junior Slam. The first to triumph in a contest of this caliber, then the intensity. The weight of being a pioneer is heavy, and it crushed a lot of people before Eala appears to have the shoulders, though, for it. Her response to the defeat in Qatar, the quick pivot, the refusal to conceal exhibits maturity beyond her 20s by traveling to Dubai. Her legacy is being built on resilience. In athletics, we frequently honor the records that have not been defeated, but what distinguishes the real legends is how they manage the defeats. Federer, Nadal, they all suffered heartbreaking losses. Serena. Every one of them experienced times when the world, is this it? I said as they all arrived. Back more powerful. Eala is refining phase of her career that involves fire. Realizing that losing is a necessary part of the work. You pay the tuition cost for excellence, and based on her demeanor she received a perfect score in Dubai this week. Student. The narrative is still partial. Is a cautionary tale for the remainder of the tour. You might beat me today, he says. You may outperform me in Doha, but we'll see you're in Dubai. In Miami I'll see you. I'll meet you in Paris. And I'll continue to coming until I succeed. That's what a champion thinks. And the tennis world is watching because of this. Dubai eagerly awaits. As we conclude this in-depth analysis, let's pause to acknowledge the circumstances. We're seeing a young sportsman in the competitive furnace. The peaks are extremely elevated. National hero, top 40, maker of history. The lowest points are in public and unpleasant. Social media and first-round exits examination, the burden of anticipation. However, Alexandra Eala's story in Dubai is not the defeat in Qatar. It concerns the answer. It has to do with the boldness. To get up when it would be more convenient to remain down. Dubai as a whole was stunned. Indeed, amazed at her perseverance. Startled by her resolve. Startled by the understanding that this young lady from the heart of the Philippines is a lioness. She's not done yet. In actuality, she is only beginning. The next several days will be crucial in Dubai. Every point, every serve, and every forehand will be a conflict. However, she won't be fighting by themselves. She is supported by a team. A whole country is behind her. And she suddenly has everyone's attention. Tennis community, anticipating how far will this comeback go? We'll be covering every stage of the process right here. We will be monitoring the qualifying outcomes. The primary draw will be examined. Contest. Here will be at your side. Navigating the WTA's roller coaster tour. This is what I need you to do then. If you have faith. In Alexa, in the strength of perseverance, if you'd like to witness the Philippine flag flying with pride on hit that like on Dubai's finals day. Button. It aids the algorithm in locating this tale should be shared with other fans. Distribute this video. Forward it to your tennis, your family, and your friends groups. Inform them that the battle is not finished. Inform them that Eala is in Dubai, and she's serious. Additionally, the majority of most essential, leave a remark below. I'd like to listen to your forecasts. To what extent did she visit Dubai? Does she take center stage? Draw. Will she make it to the quarterfinals? What do you believe she should do differently? To defeat the top seed strategically? Let's start a discussion. Let's display the strength of this community. This is not limited to tennis. It concerns the human nature. It's about persevering. Alexandra Eala is prepared. Dubai is prepared. Are you? I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Thank you for your support of the channel. Additionally, as never give up, never give up, never give up. And I'll talk to you in the upcoming update.